Hello, welcome to day 114 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading Numbers chapter 8, 1 Kings chapter 20, first Psalms 114, Proverbs 24, and from the book of Acts chapter 10. Chapter 8, on page 149 will be in the Scriptures, 2009 version. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, and say to him, When you ascend to trim the lamps, let the 7 lamps give light in front of the lampstand. And Aaron did so. He set up the lamps to face toward the front of the lampstand, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And this is the work of the lampstand: beaten work of gold from its base to its blossoms. It is beaten, according to the pattern which Yahweh had shown Moshe, so he made the lampstand. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and you shall cleanse them, and do this to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of sin offering on them, and they shall shave all their body, and shall wash their garments, and cleanse themselves, and shall take a young bull with its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, while you take another young bull as a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tent of appointment, and you shall assemble all the congregation of the children of Israel. And you shall bring the Levites before Yahweh, and the children of Israel shall lay hands on the Levites. And Aaron shall wave the Levites before Yahweh a wave offering from the children of Israel. So shall they be for doing the service of Yahweh. And the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the young bull, and one shall be prepared as a sin offering, and the other as an ascending offering to Yahweh, to make an atonement for the Levites. And it shall be, and you shall have the Levites stand before Aaron and his sons, and then wave them a wave offering to Yahweh. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Then after the Levites shall go in to do service in the tent of appointment, when you have cleansed them and waved them as a wave offering. For they are given ones, given to me from among the children of Israel. I have taken them for myself instead of all who opened the womb, the firstborn of all the children of Israel. For all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Mizraim, I set them apart unto myself. And I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the children of Israel, to do service of the children of Israel in the tent of appointment, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come near the set apart place. Thus Moshe and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that Yahweh commanded Moshe concerning the Levites. So the children of Israel did to them. And the Levites cleansed themselves and washed their garments. And Aaron waved them a wave offering before Yahweh. And Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. Then after the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of appointment before Aaron and the sons, as Yahweh commanded Moshe concerning the Levites, so they did to them. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, This applies to the Levites from 25 years old and above. Let him come into active service in the service of the tent of appointment. And at the age of 50, they retire from active service of the service, and serve no more. And they shall attend with their brothers in the tent of appointment, to guard the duty, but shall do no service. Thus you shall do to the Levites regarding their duties. On to 1 Kings chapter 20 on page 375. And Ben-Hannah, the sovereign of Aram, gathered all his army, and there were 32 sovereigns with him, with horses and chariots. And he went up and besieged Samaria, and fought against it. And he sent messengers into the city of to Ahab, sovereign of Israel, and said to him, Thus said Behad, Your silver and your gold are mine, and your wives and your children, the best, are mine. And the sovereign of Israel answered and said, As you say, my master, O sovereign, I am yours, and all that I have. And the messengers came back and said, Thus speaks Behad, saying, Indeed, I have sent to you, saying, Give me your silver and your gold, your wives and your children. And about this time tomorrow I shall send my servants to you, and they shall search your house and your houses of your servants. And it shall be that whatever is pleasing in your eyes, they shall lay hold and take it. And the sovereign of Israel called all the elders of the land and said, Please know and see the evil this one is seeking, for he sent to me for my wives, and for my children, and for my silver, and for my gold, and I did not refuse him. And all the elders and all the people said to him, Do not listen nor agree. So he said to the messengers of Ben-Hannah, Say to my master the sovereign, all that you sent for to your servant the first time I shall do, but this I am unable to do. And the messengers went and brought back word to him. And Ben-Hannah sent to him and said, The mighty ones do so to me, and more also, if enough dust is left in Samaria for a handful of each of the people who follow me. And the sovereign of Israel answered and said, Speak. Him who girds on his armor should not boast like him who lays it down. And it came to be, when this word was heard, as he and the sovereigns were drinking in the shelters, that he said to his servants, Set yourselves. So they set themselves against the city. And see, a prophet came near to Ahab, sovereign of Israel, saying, Thus said Yahweh, Have you seen all this great company? See, I am giving it into your hand today, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. And Ahab said, By whom? And he said, Thus said Yahweh, by the young rulers of the provinces. And he said, Who opens the attack? Then he answered, You. And he mustered the young rulers of the provinces. And there were 232. And after them he mustered all the people of the children of Israel, 7,000. And he went out at noon, while Ben-Hannah and the 32 sovereigns helping him were getting drunk in the shelters. And the young rulers of the provinces went out first, and Ben-Hannah sent out, and they reported to him, saying, Men have come out of Samaria. Then he said, If they have come out for peace, seize them alive. And if they come out for battle, seize them alive. Okay? So these young rulers of the provinces went out to the city with the army which followed them. And each struck his man, so the Arameans fled, and Israel pursued them. And Ben-Hannah, the sovereign of Aram, escaped on a horse with the horsemen. And the sovereign of Israel went out and struck the horses and chariots, and struck the Arameans, a great smiting. And the prophet came to the sovereign of Israel and said to him, Go, strengthen yourself, and know and see what you should do. For at the turn of the year, the sovereign of Aram is coming up against you. And the servants of the sovereign of Aram said to him, Their mighty ones are mighty ones of the hills. That is why they are stronger than we. But let us fight against them in the plain, and are we not stronger than they? Now do this, take away the sovereign, each one from his position, and put officers in their places. And the number an army like the army that you have lost, horse for horse and chariot for chariot. Let us fight against them in the plain. Are we not stronger than they? And they listened to their voice and did so. And it came to be at the turn of the year, Ben-Hadad mustered the Arameans and went up to Aphi to fight against Israel. And the children of Israel were mustered and were fed, and they went against them, and the children of Israel encamped before them like two little flocks of goats, while the Arameans filled the land. And there came near a man of Elohim, and spoke to the sovereign of Israel, and said, Thus said Yahweh, because the Arameans have said, Yahweh is Elohim of the hills, but he is not Elohim of the valleys. Therefore I shall give all this great company into your hand, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. And they encamped opposite each other for 7 days, and it came to be that on the 7th day the battle was joined, and the children of Israel struck 100,000 foot soldiers of the Arameans in one day. And those that were left fled to Ephia into the city, and the wall fell on 27,000 of the men who were left. And Ben-Hadad fled and went into the city, into an inner room. And his servants said to him, See now, we have heard that the sovereigns of the house of Israel are lovingly committed sovereigns. Please let us put sackcloth around our waists and ropes around our heads, and go out to the sovereign of Israel. It could be that he spares your life. So they girded sackcloth on their loins and put ropes around their neck, and came to the sovereign of Israel and said, Your servant Ben-Hadad said, Please let me live. And he said, Is he still alive? He is my brother. And the men divined, and they quickly grasped and said, Your brother Ben-Hadad? And he said, Go bring him. So Ben-Hadad came out to him, and he let him come to him on a chariot. And Ben-Hadad said to him, The cities which my father took from your father I return, and set up marketplaces for yourselves in Damascus, as my father did in Samaria. And Heba said, I send you away with this covenant. And he made a covenant with him and sent him away. And a certain man of the sons of the prophets said to his neighbors by the word of Yahweh, Strike me, please. But the man refused to strike him. Then he said to him, Because you have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh, see, as soon as you leave me, a lion shall strike you. And when he left him, a lion found him and struck him. And he found another man and said, Strike me, please. So the man struck him, striking and wounding. Then the prophet went and waited for the sovereign by the way, and disguised himself with a bandage on his eyes. And as the sovereign passed by, he cried out to the sovereign and said, Your servant went out into the midst of the battle, and see, a man came over and brought a man to me and said, Guard this man, if he should stay in any way be missing. Your life shall be for his life, or else you shall pay a talent of silver. And it came to be, while your servant was busy here and there, he was gone. And the sovereign of Israel said to him, Your judgment is right. You yourself have decided it. Then he quickly removed the bandage from his eyes, and the sovereign of Israel recognized him as one of the prophets. And he said to him, Thus said Yahweh, because you have let slip out of your hand a man whom I put under the band. It never goes well when they don't do that. If he says put him under the band, do it. Therefore, your life shall go for his life, and your people for his people. And the sovereign of Israel went into his house, embittered and displeased, and came to Samaria. Doesn't bode well. On the Psalms 114 on the page 712. When Israel went out of Mizraim, the house of Jacob from the people of strange language, Judah became his set-apart place, and Israel his rule. The sea saw it and fled. The Jordan turned back. The mountains skipped like rams. The little hills like lambs. Why was it, O sea, that you fled? O Jordan, that you turned back? O mountains, that you skipped like rams. O little hills like lambs. Tremble, O earth, from the face of the master, from the face of the Elah of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool of water, the flint into a fountain of water. Proverbs 24 on page 750. Do not envy men, nor desire to be with them, for their hearts plot to ravage, and their lips talk of trouble. By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Mighty is the wise in strength, and a man of knowledge strengthens power. For by wise guidance you wage your own battle, and delivery is by a great counselor. Wisdom is high for a fool. He does not open his mouth in the gate. He who plots to do evil is called a master of evil plots. The purpose of folly is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to men. If you falter in the day of distress, your strength is small. Deliver those taken to death, and hold back the stumbling to the kill. Hold back those stumbling to the kill. If you say, See, we did not know this, would not he who weighs the hearts discern it? He who watches over your life, would he not know it? And shall he not repay man according to his work? My son, eat honey, for it is good, and the honeycomb sweet to your lips, to your taste. Know that wisdom is thus to your being. If you have found it, there is a future, and your expectancy is not cut off. Do not lie in wait, O wrong one, against the dwelling of the righteous. Do not ravage his resting place. For 7 times a righteous man falls and rises, but the wrong one stumbles into evil. Do not exult when your enemy falls, and let not your heart rejoice when he stumbles, lest Yahweh see, and it be evil in his eyes, and he turn away his wrath from him. Do not fret because of the evildoers, and do not envy the wrong, for there is no future for the evildoer. The lamp of the wrongness is put out, my son. Fear Yahweh and the sovereign. Do not mingle with those who change, for their calamity arises suddenly, and who knows the ruin of both of them? These also are for the wise. It is not good to show partiality in right ruling. He who says to the wrong, You are righteous, people curse him, nations despise him. But those who rebuke the wrong, it is wise, and a good blessing comes on them. He who gives a right answer kisses the lips. Prepare your outside work, and make it fit for yourself in the field. Then you shall build your house. Do not witness against your neighbor without cause, and do not deceive with your lips. Do not say, Let me do to him as he did to me. I repay each according to his work. I passed by the field of the lazy, and by the vineyard of the man lacking heart, and see, it was overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. Then I saw it. I set my heart on it. I have looked and received discipline. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to rest. And your poverty shall come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. On to Acts chapter 10 on page 1063. It's 1063. Now there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a captain of what was called the Italian regiment, dedicated and fearing Elohim with all his household, doing many kinds of deeds to the people, and praying to Elohim always. He clearly saw in a vision about the 9th hour of the day a messenger of Elohim coming to him, saying to him, Cornelius. And looking intently at him and becoming afraid, he said, What is it, master? And he said to him, Your prayers and your kind deeds have come up for a remembrance before Elohim. And now send to Joppa, and send for Simon, also called Kepha, Simon Peter. He is staying with Shimon, a leather tanner, whose house is by the sea. And when the messenger who spoke to him went away, Cornelius called 2 of his household servants and a dedicated soldier, from whom those who waited on him continually. And having explained to them all, he sent them to Joppa. And the next day, as they were on their way and approaching the city, Peter, Simon Peter, Kepha, went up to the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became hungry and wished to eat. But while they were preparing, he fell into a trance. And he saw the heaven opened, and a certain vessel, like a great sheet, bound at the 4 corners, descending on him, and let down to the earth, in which were all kinds of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping creatures of the birds of the heavens. And a voice came to him, Rise up, Peter, Simon Peter, slay and eat. But Peter said, Not at all, master, because I have never eaten what is common or unclean. And a voice came to him again the second time, What Elohim has cleansed, you do not consider common. And this took place 3 times, and the vessel was taken back to the heaven. While Peter was doubting within himself about the vision, what the vision meant, look, the men who had been sent from Cornelius, having asked for the house of Shimon, stood at the gate, and calling out, they inquired whether Shimon, was also known as Peter, was staying there. And Peter was thinking about the vision. The Spirit said to him, See, 3 men seek you. But rise up, go down, and go with them, no doubt, not doubting at all, for I have sent them. So Peter went down to the men who had been sent to him from Cornelius, and said, Look, I am the one you seek. Why have you come? And they said, Cornelius the captain, a righteous man, and one who fears Elohim, and well spoken by the entire nation of the Judean, was instructed by a set-apart messenger to send for you to his house, and to hear words from you. So inviting them in, he housed them. And the next day Peter went away with them, and some brothers from Joppa went with him. And the following day they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius was waiting for them, having called together his relatives and close friends. And it came to be when Peter entered, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and bowed at him. But Peter raised him up, saying, "Stand up, I myself am also a man." And talking with him, he went in and found many who had come together. And he said to them, "You know that as a Jewish man is not allowed to associate with or go to one of another race. But Elohim has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. That is why I came without hesitation when I was sent for. So I asked, why have you sent for me?" And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour. And at the 9th hour I prayed in my house, and see, a man stood before me in shining garments, and said, "Cornelius, your prayers have been heard, and your kind deeds were remembered before Elohim. Now send to Joppa and call Simon here, who's also called Peter. He is staying in the house of Shimon, a leather tanner by the sea. When he comes, he shall speak to you." So I sent to you immediately, and you have done well to come. And now we are all present before Elohim, to hear all that you have been commanded by Elohim. And opening his mouth, Peter said, "Truly I see that Elohim shows no partiality, but in every nation he who fears him and works righteous is accepted by him. He sent the word to the children of Israel, bringing the good news, peace through Yeshua Messiah. He is the master of all. You know that word came to be throughout all Judea, beginning from Galilee after the immersion which John proclaimed, John the Baptist. How Elohim did anoint Yeshua of Nazareth with set-apart spirit and with power, who went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for Elohim was with him. And we are witnesses of all he did, both in the country of the Judean and in Jerusalem, whom they even killed by hanging on a timber. Elohim raised up this one on the 3rd day and let him be seen. Not all the people, but to witnesses, those having been chosen before by Elohim, to us who ate and drank with him after he rose from the dead. And he commanded us to proclaim to the people and to witness that it is he who was appointed by Elohim to be judge of the living and the dead. To this one of the prophets bears witness that through his name everyone believing in him does receive forgiveness of sins. While Simon Peter was still speaking these words, the set-apart spirit fell upon all those hearing the word. And those of the circumcision who believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because the gift of the set-apart spirit had been poured out of the nations also. For they were hearing them speaking with tongues and extolling Elohim. Then Peter answered, "Is anyone able to forbid water, that these should not be immersed who have received the set-apart spirit, even as also we?" And he commanded them to be immersed in the name of Yahweh Messiah. Then they asked him to remain a few days. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.